Hi everyone, I'm Liz Doles. I'm the Gallery Coordinator at the Gallery at the Belmont Media Center. And our artist this month is Kate Padilla, and I'm very happy to introduce her. And we're going to talk about some of her work that's on exhibit at the Gallery at the Belmont Media Center through the month of September. Hi, Kate.
Hi.
I'm very happy to present Kate Padilla, our artist. And first we're going to take a look at her piece, Looking to Venus. Kate, what would you like to tell us about this particular image?
Okay, so this piece is called Looking to Venus. I made this painting in 2023 as part of my senior studio for my undergraduate at Bowdoin College. And so I started out with this piece. It's a found object, so it's made on a screen printing screen that someone was going to throw away at the beginning of the school year. And so I just found that and thought it looked like a great surface that was really unique. It had this drawing underlaid on it that's kind of in the background. And I didn't really know what I was going to do with it when I started, but I knew I wanted to do something with it. So it was one of the first pieces I started for my senior project. And it turned into this kind of self-portrait and image of Venus, who I have come back to a lot in my paintings throughout the years. I've just always been fascinated by the story of Venus and her image. So it's a image of Venus next to a little line drawing self-portrait of me. And yeah, it was just really interesting to work on the surface of the screen printing screen. It's kind of transparent. It can be hung out in a space and you can see both sides, or it can just be presented as a canvas on a wall.
Cool. Kate, tell us how you got started as an artist before you knew about Botticelli.
So I have been making art for most of my life, you know, starting with doodles as a little kid. But in high school, I really started painting and drawing a lot. I started out as mostly a drawer with charcoal. I love charcoal. But moving through high school and into college, I really fell in love with painting. And I went to Bowdoin College, where I was an art major and a biology major. And so I found ways to kind of mix both of those disciplines, but really enjoyed my art practice, especially. And yeah, so painting has just become my passion, and it is what I do every day when I get home from my day job, and it's my favorite thing in the world.
So, Kate, biology and art. I got to admit, I see some biomorphic forms in all of your work, especially in this one of the sisters, as you call these two pieces. Tell us about the sister paintings and your sources of imagery from biology.
Yeah. So I think of these two paintings as really related, probably because I was working on them at the same time and kind of going back and forth between each of them. And they were really different processes. This one over here is a lot more abstracted and uses thicker paint, and it's kind of more about the paint and the way it works on the surface. While this one has a lot more distinct images in it. So yeah, definitely my biology background comes up a lot, I think, in a lot of my paintings with natural scenes, and kind of like, I see a lot of cell-like imagery in the things that I'm doing, even the abstracted ones where I don't necessarily intend it. But yeah, so this painting and a few other drawings in my series have a lot of scenes and images in them that kind of call back to some memories I have and are kind of journalistic for me. And I think that's a trend I see a lot in my work, is a journalistic quality to the images. And they all mean something to me, but to the viewer, they might not mean anything at all, and you might not recognize everything.
I mean, I certainly see autobiographical things, mirrors and scenes of the seasons, and living in Maine with the snow. And
definitely.
the college buildings, and maybe a few aliens hopping in to visit.
Yeah, so I think I really like the idea that someone can look at it and you can see some of the things and recognize them, but maybe the whole story isn't there. Maybe people can apply their own ideas of what they're seeing in the scenes. And then I feel like the more abstracted version of that has some of these representable images popping up, but it's a lot more about the paint. But I think that the colors and the feelings all kind of tie back together, especially because I work on them at the same time, so they kind of communicate with each other.
So Kate, we've talked about your background. Loved art since you were a kid. You pursued it in high school and you really got serious in college. What's next for your work, you and your work?
So I think painting will always be a part of my life and will always be something that I find comfort, and like I was saying, it's a journalistic thing for me, so I think it's important for me individually to just express how I'm feeling and to kind of just sit down after a long day and paint. But I think that the themes that I keep coming back to are themes of nature and themes of memory and nostalgia, which a lot of these pieces, I think all of these pieces touch on those themes in some way, in a personal way to me and in ways that hopefully people can connect with. So I think that I'll continue to explore those themes. I don't think I'm done with it yet, and I think finding new mediums to do that through has been really fun for me, whether it's painting on things like the screen printing board or canvas or huge canvases or really tiny paintings. So I think just there's a lot of room for me to explore those similar topics in different ways. And so I think that's where I'll be heading next.
Yeah, the learning curve never stops when you're an artist.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Kate, thank you so much for showing your work and sharing it with us here at the gallery at the Belmont Media Center. Kate Padilla's show, Recollections, will be on view until the end of September. We're at 9 Lexington Street here in Belmont, Massachusetts. Our hours are 11 to 7 on weekdays. Please come.